There are now two frontline services where a formal request has gone in for the military to help out during the strikes. That's the ambulance service and border force controls. But can the army really do those jobs? At the moment, the plan is not for the military to deploy their own ambulances, as was the case with the strike in 1989. Instead, military personnel would act as paramedics on the service. And there's no suggestion at this point the military could replace nurses who are due to strike this week. Still, for the Labour leadership visiting a hospital in Stevenage today, the health spokesman made it clear the government should not be relying on the military. Later in the Commons, he said the government wanted to shift the blame for any problems in the NHS.
Instead of taking responsibility for their failure, they want to use nurses and paramedics as scapegoats to avoid the blame. It is a disgusting plan, it is a dangerous plan, and it is a plan that will not work.
The government had this response.
The fact is that Labour is all over the place when it comes to strikes. They criticise ministers while admitting the union's pay demands are unaffordable. Now, the gentleman opposite and his party leader are too tied to their union paymasters to be on the side of patients.
Tonight, the RMT union has rejected the latest offer from Network Rail. On the railways, as with so much else, the public can only watch this wave of strikes unfold.
Let's speak to Andy live, who joins us from Downing Street. Andy, good to talk to you. We know that we've heard that the Cobra committee has been convened. What more can they do? Because we know that when they do get together, it's serious business.
It is. It's the Government's Emergency Response Committee, as you say, known as Cobra. It's been meeting in the Cabinet Office building here. Behind me, among the people there, the Health Secretary, the Business Secretary, a Defence Minister. And one of the things they've been talking about, probably occupying most of their time, is how they could potentially use the military to plug the gaps that are going to be caused by strike action. But the government very keen to say this evening, look, even if they can put things in place, if these strikes go ahead, there will be serious disruption as a result to a lot of public services. Now, after he's done in there, Steve Barclay, the Health Secretary, is due to go and have talks with the nursing union, the RCN, at 6 p.m. But my understanding is he is not going to be coming in with any extra money. So quite what they're going to be talking about, I don't know, because the government is making it absolutely clear that they say, we have stuck to a recommendation from an independent pay review body. That's fair. They say they can't go ahead with what they would call inflation-busting pay rises. That position, though, made slightly more tricky this evening because in Scotland, Unite workers who work for the NHS have called off their strike action in response to an improved offer of 7.5%. But that remains very much the exception. Right now, we're looking at 2 weeks of serious industrial action and strikes leading up to Christmas.
OK, Andy Bell, thank you very much for that, for the very latest.